I'm your host, Dr. Harry Augensen, Director of the Widener Observatory. Welcome to the February Night Sky Rundown, where you'll find out what's up in the night sky.
Hi, I'm your co-host, Drew Phillipes.
On cold, clear February nights, the stars of constellations of winter seem to be sprinkled across the night sky like brilliant ice crystals. Nearly overhead by 8 p.m. is Auriga, the charioteer, with the bright yellow star Capella as his eye. Just south of Auriga is Taurus, with its bright orange star Aldebaran, and the Pleiades, or Seven Sisters, star cluster. Believe it or not, the Pleiades star cluster actually contains about 500 stars, but as its name implies, only about 7 are bright enough to be seen with the naked eye. Could you tell us what's east of Taurus, Drew?
Of course, Dr. Augensen. Gemini, known as the Twins, with its two brightest stars, Pollux and Castor, lies east of Taurus. Pollux has a slight yellow or orange tint to it, while Castor is more white in color. The Castor is part of a system that consists of a total of 6 gravitationally bound stars, 5 of which can be seen individually through a telescope. These do not compare, though, to the emperor of the winter constellations, Orion. What do we need to know about him?
Orion the Hunter stands high in the south by about 9 p.m. during February. Its two brightest stars, Betelgeuse and Rigel, form his left shoulder and right foot respectively. In the middle of Orion's sword, we can find the great Orion Nebula. The nebula is a vast complex star formation, nearly 1,500 light years from our solar system. Now let's move on to the brightest star in the sky. Drew?
Sirius lies just below to the left of Orion in Canis Major. Just a bit further to the east lies its neighbor in Canis Major, Procyon. Sirius and Procyon are next-door neighbors to the Sun, lying respectively 8.5 and 11.5 light years away. Now let's work our way over to the eastern part of the sky.
If you look toward the east-northeast after about 8 p.m., you should be able to see the blue-white star Regulus in the constellation Leo, rising above the horizon. To the right of Regulus, in the southeast, is the orange star Alphard. Alphard lies in the constellation Hydra, but has its own meaning as well, the solitary one. In the northern part of the sky, we can see some constellations that most of us are probably already familiar with. What do you have for us, Drew?
Well, rising in the north to northeast is the Big Dipper in the constellation Ursa Major. At the same time, the W of Cassiopeia is getting lower in the north to northwest. The Big Dipper and Cassiopeia lie respectively on opposite sides of Polaris, the North Star, making them easy to spot. When they are in these positions on the celestial clock, it means that spring cannot be far behind. I sure can't wait for my spring to come. But enough about the weather. Let's learn about what planets are up in the sky this month.
February is a month full of ample opportunities to see the planets. Jupiter appears above the eastern horizon during the early evening hours of February. It rises by around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 1st and by just before 6:30 p.m. on the 29th. Jupiter is now situated in the constellation Leo, near the border with Virgo, and burns like a cream-colored star that far outshines any true star in the night sky. Jupiter will show its greatest brilliance early next month when it reaches opposition with the Sun. Drew, tell us about Mars.
Well, Mars comes up in the southeast around 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at mid-month. This planet resembles a bright orange star to the far left of the true star Spica. Mars has been about as bright as Spica, but will get even brighter toward the end of the month. There's still even more to see than in Saturn, especially if you're a night owl. How early in the morning exactly can we see Saturn?
Well, Drew, Saturn is up by dawn, looking like a bright yellow star once it rises above the southeastern horizon, just before 3:30 a.m. on the 1st and by 1:30 a.m. at the end of the month. Those who enjoy their sleep may not be so motivated to catch the bright planet. On the other hand, Saturn rises at about the same time as Orange, Red, Antares, which is noticeably fainter and lies next door in Scorpius. Our next planet may be a little easier to catch, especially for those getting ready to leave for work.
Venus is still a delight to see this month, burning like a brilliant yellow beacon in the southeastern sky, an hour or so before sunrise. Venus rises in the southeast at about 5:30 a.m. every morning during February. This is nearly 2 hours before the sun on the 1st, but only about 1 hour before sunrise on the 29th. After February, Venus slowly sinks toward the sun, becoming lost in the dawn glare by May. That leaves us then with one last planet. What's there to know about Mercury?
Well, Mercury is back in the morning sky this month and is best viewed during the first 2 weeks of February when it rises in the southeast about 1.5 hours before sunrise. Mercury remains a morning star through the second half of February. Note, though, that it will be steadily descending into the dawn twilight. With that, you have your 5 planets in the sky for the month of February.
I must say, too, that there's plenty of life in the night sky this month. Well, that's all we have for this month. For more information on the night sky, visit the Widener Observatory Stargazing website.
And don't forget about the stargazing session at the Widener Observatory, located on the 5th floor of Kirkbride Hall.
Thank you, and remember to look to the stars.